Parish Plug is digging into an issue that has been stirring conversations all across St. Mary Parish for some time now. Parents of children, like the lady in the video here, Shatanica Gibson, they are parents of children with disabilities that say they are being left out of critical discussions about their kids' education. There are also meetings where decisions are being made and they're not being heard. Now we're sitting down with Aprill Payton as well as Karla Rogers, who are co-owners of OTABA, Occupational Therapy and Applied Behavior Analysis. Shatanica Gibson is a parent who has been directly affected along with others. Now Aprill and Karla are resource providers, and they were there during a recent meeting where parents were being denied access. Now, Shatanica was one of those parents who also filmed part of that meeting or discussion outside of the meeting, trying to advocate for her child and other children who are facing roadblocks. Now, all this started because of a truancy issue. And then, of course, it opened up the conversation for educational opportunities. I'm doing the air quotes because we're going to dig right into that a little bit deeper. But let's kind of go ahead right into this, because this has been kind of a long-standing pattern, not just an isolated case where parents are being shut out of meetings, according to what they're saying, and also representatives like yourself, Aprill and Karla, who are trying to advocate for children and these parents. Let's go to you first, Aprill. Walk us through what happened when you guys arrived and tell us about what the purpose of that meeting was and what your role is supposed to be.
So our parents all received a letter in the mail. It's called a PWN, a prior written notice, that stated that they had an IEP meeting to discuss educational opportunities. They all received different time slots for this meeting. We decided together as a team that we would all go together to tackle this meeting, and that we could advocate for our parents as well during this meeting. When we entered in the building and they opened the doors, they completely shut us out. They said that not everybody was going to be going in. It would only be the parent of the child that the meeting was for. The parent of that child stated that they would like for everybody to be involved in the meeting, that they invited everyone in the meeting, and they would like for everyone to be involved. We also did our due diligence and signed HIPAA consent forms for all parents involved, all patients involved, everybody that was attending that meeting with us all signed that consent form. So they started by saying that we weren't allowed in because of HIPAA rights. We presented these forms. Then it turned in to say that we couldn't come in. It was just not acceptable. The parents questioned, well, can't we bring whoever we want into the meeting? The response was, well, parents can invite whoever they want in the meeting, just not other parents. This was getting us nowhere. It was back and forth bickering. So our advocate, Ms. 𝐂𝐸𝐬𝐿, said, you know what, let's go into this parents meeting so we can hear them out and see what exactly they have to offer, because they stated it was not an IEP, it was just to discuss educational opportunities.
So let's also be clear what an IEP, for those individuals who don't know, what is the acronym for versus what the educational opportunities as they describe them to be.
Yeah, an IEP is an individual education plan, so it's specific to every child. And to discuss anything related to that child, the whole IEP team has to be present, which they were not.
Right. Now, of course, this is legal because as it is, I think there's a law, correct? The law states that all parents can offer or have resource providers such as yourselves be present at these type of meetings, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's go ahead and throw it to the video so that way people can understand exactly what's going on. Again, the video was actually shot by Shatanica, who's in the video. We'll get to you in just a minute. And there were other parents present. Let's go ahead and throw it over there right now. And you'll be able to hear some of the conversation and how it transpired.
Talk to parents. I'm not talking to you.
And we're here to support our parents and to help them in these and make these decisions.
No, it's no decisions being made. We just offer them education opportunities.
Absolutely. And we want to hear.
Are you offering education opportunities at your site?
We can.
Well, you need to start doing it, okay?
We are not allowed to invite others in?
Yeah.
You are allowed to invite people.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, the parent is allowed to invite other people to represent them, not other parents. We're talking about individual children. Ma'am, if you're videotaping, please don't do that.
It's being awfully rude.
I'm not being awfully rude. I'm just saying to her that we're not going to break any HIPAA laws on our
We're not.
side.
I have all the papers
She should have had that conversation with us prior to this. That's what I'm saying.
Is that a law?
Is there a law that states that a parent can't go in another parent's meeting? Is there a law?
I'm here to support them.
So we're supporting each other.
I'm not denying the parents. Come on in. I'm not denying that we're here to meet with y'all. We don't have a problem with it. That's why we called y'all here. Because we want to talk with you guys. We want to talk to each other individual because your child is different from his child, from that child, from that child. It's no difference.
All right. With that said, let's go right back into this discussion. Shatanica, what has been the emotional impact from this? I can kind of tell, at least from what I'm hearing, there's a little frustration, not just in you, but other parents. But let's talk about what was the impact as it relates to you?
Like personally with me, we are trying to be a voice for our children. It's enough that it's hard for day-to-day life, like for us going out in public in general. And it's a shame that we actually have to fight with the schools when we already have challenges in our day-to-day life. We're trying to do what's best for our children, and it feels like our voice is not being heard or it's being ignored altogether. Yeah.
Well, and Karla or April, what were you there to do to ensure if you were granted access and then have all the parents there, would that have sufficed and everyone would have walked away with the answers they needed?
Actually, we were trying to see how we could work with the school setting. So some of the children attend our facility 5 days a week, some attend 2 to 3 days a week. So our plan to be there was to help support the parents in making these decisions, and also to figure out as a facility how we could be of assistance for these parents and these children to meet their educational goals also.
Now, I know this is about having transparency, correct? So you want transparency, you want accountability, but it seems like there's been kind of an inconsistent communication. And I'm saying that because April, you actually were once employed by the school board, correct?
I was, yes.
And would you agree that this is the situation that has happened, has been recurring?
Not this specific situation, but as far as ABA being allowed into the schools, yes, that has been a constant issue. And as far as parents not being completely heard, yes.
Well, April or Karla, what needs to happen, moving forward? What needs to change? What needs to really break down so that communication is there and the parents are also heard?
I feel like, in order for this to see a change, we need collaboration. We need the school, those in the department and the school system and us to be able to come together and us explain what it is we do and the why and our goals, and then them explain what they need and what their goals are, so we can come to a medium and we can come together as a community in different parishes so we can help all of our patients and all of their students collectively. And that's ultimately our goal, which was what we've been trying to do just from the start, a year ago when we opened, was just to try to get this open communication so that stuff like this doesn't happen. So, we just need communication.
And our goal is to transition these children all back into the school setting. So we don't want to just throw them back into a school setting without the proper support that they need. We would like to systematically fade them back in with the support from our staff, with the goal that they can attend school independently full time in the future.
Now, Shatanica, we have obviously heard from you, but we saw in the video, or if you go to the video, which is made public, there were other parents available or on hand, on site. Have you spoken to other parents? What's the consensus? What are their thoughts about what's going on or what has gone on in the past?
Well, talking to other parents right now, I feel like the school board has to actually gain the parents' trust. This situation really wasn't a help. And I feel like if the school board is able to like prove themselves, like, hey, we do care for your children. Hey, we do want to provide these services. I feel like us as parents, we will want to send our kids to school. Last year, I actually tried to get ABA to come to the school for my child individually, and was denied. So this year, this is our second shot at trying to communicate, collaborate, so that all of us, because I feel like our kids could use both, all of our children, and the parents believe the same. But I just feel like the school board just have to start with gaining the trust of the parents.
Now, I know this story is still unfolding, and I'm happy to say that I met with Aprill, Karla, and Shatanica, in addition to the interim superintendent. And although this is very new to her as far as her involvement, direct involvement, she did decline to give a comment. However, you guys met with her during a meeting a couple of days ago. Can you tell me a little bit about how that unfolded? What happened? What were the results? And are you satisfied with it?
Yeah, I think we had a wonderful meeting. We are very optimistic about the future of what OTABA can help with the school setting and how we can also implement things from the school setting here at OTABA to ensure that all of our kids are succeeding and getting the maximum of both worlds. She was very realistic, and she also heard us all out. So I do feel like the meeting as a whole went wonderful, and we have hope.
And there were additional meetings. There's one today, kind of on a separate situation. But again, Aprill, you were there, accompanying Shatanica. Shatanica, how do you feel about the future of your child's education?
I feel like today was actually a start. It's kind of like a new beginning, and I feel like it has a potential to be successful to my child.
So with that said, any last words from all of you? I'd like to know, moving forward, does this give you hope?
It actually does.
Yeah, and I
Everywhere
think
we have to start somewhere. So it's a start.
Yeah, and also for our part here, we're not only speaking on behalf of our OTABA families, but also every SPED student in St. Mary Parish. They all deserve the quality care that they truly need, and it shouldn't be limited to one setting if it requires multiple.
And because of that, tell us how does one get involved with OTABA and they want to reach out to you to receive some of the services that you will provide their child?
Yeah, if anyone is interested in ABA, OT, or speech services, they can email us at info@otabatherapy.com. And we talk to the parents directly and give them all the information that's needed, whether they're just finding out that their child was diagnosed with autism or if they've been on wait lists for years. We walk them through the steps of what it is we can offer, or what their options are, for the future.
Well, we actually, prior to this, we were tagged in videos. We were inboxed about what was going on. We're so happy that you guys are able to move forward in a more positive light. During our due diligence and our research, we understand that for any parent in Louisiana who believes that their child's educational rights are being denied, there is a formal process in place. You can file a complaint under Louisiana Revised Statute 17173, and that is outlined in the Louisiana Bulletin 135, Chapter 7. The complaint process gives parents a path to seek accountability and ensure their child's needs are definitely being met. We're going to continue to follow this issue, and we're going to reach out to school officials for their response. We're going to get an update the community as information comes in. Ladies, thank y'all very much for giving us the time, for actually moving forward with trying to find answers for parents, because again, I've been notified, informed of this is not affecting just one parent. This is affecting quite a few parents, but it looks as though things are moving in a more positive light, and we'll continue to follow that if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Yes, for sure.
All right. Well, with that said, thank y'all so much for giving us of your time. And we will definitely keep you guys updated, because we know that transparency in education, it just isn't optional. It is owed to every parent and every child. I am 𝐏𝐚𝐫𝐞𝐬 with Parish Plug.